Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about something that I know a lot of us can relate to: burnout. We all know how it feels to be completely exhausted, both mentally and physically, from work and life demands. And it's a real problem, especially in today's world where we're always connected and always on the go. So, how do we overcome burnout and find a better work-life balance? Well, that's what I'm here to talk about today. First things first, let's talk about what burnout is. Burnout is a state of chronic stress that leads to physical and emotional exhaustion, cynicism, and detachment from one's job. It's a state of mind that can be caused by a variety of factors, such as a high workload, lack of control, and lack of support. One of the biggest causes of burnout is a lack of work-life balance. This can happen when we're working too much and not taking enough time for ourselves. It's important to remember that work is just one aspect of our lives, and it's not the most important aspect. We need to make time for ourselves, our loved ones, and our hobbies. So, how do we find a better work-life balance? Well, one of the most important things is to set boundaries. This means setting limits on the amount of time you spend working and the amount of time you spend doing other things. It also means setting limits on when you're available to work and when you're not. Another thing that can help is to learn to say no. This can be difficult, especially if you're a people pleaser or if you're afraid of disappointing others. But it's important to remember that you can't do everything, and it's okay to say no to things that don't align with your priorities. Another thing that can help is to make time for self-care. This means taking care of your physical and emotional well-being. It can be as simple as going for a walk, taking a yoga class, or reading a book. It's important to make time for yourself and to do things that make you happy. Another thing that can help is to make time for loved ones. This means spending time with family and friends, and making sure that you have a good support system. It's important to have people in your life who understand and support you. Another thing that can help is to make time for hobbies. Hobbies are a great way to relax and unwind. They're also a great way to do something that you enjoy, and that can help you to feel fulfilled. Another important thing to keep in mind when dealing with burnout is to identify the cause of the burnout. Sometimes burnout can be caused by a specific event or situation, such as a high workload, a difficult boss, or a lack of recognition. Other times, it can be caused by a more general feeling of dissatisfaction with your job or your life. Once you've identified the cause of the burnout, you can start to work on addressing it. If it's a specific event or situation, you can try to find a solution or a way to cope with it. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed by your workload, you can talk to your boss about it and see if there's a way to reduce your workload. If the cause of the burnout is more general, you may need to take a more holistic approach. This can include things like finding a new job, changing your lifestyle, or finding a new hobby or activity. It's important to remember that burnout is not always caused by one specific thing, and it may take a combination of different actions to address it. Another thing that can help with burnout is to take a break. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is to step away from the situation that is causing the burnout. This can mean taking a vacation, a sabbatical, or even quitting your job. It's important to remember that taking a break is not the same as giving up. It's simply a way to give yourself the time and space that you need to recharge and come back stronger. It's also important to remember that seeking help is not a sign of weakness. If you're feeling overwhelmed and burned out, it's okay to reach out for help. This can include things like talking to a therapist, a counselor, or a coach. It can also include talking to a mentor or a trusted friend. In conclusion, burnout is a real problem that affects many of us, and it can be caused by a lack of work-life balance. To overcome burnout, it's important to set boundaries, learn to say no, make time for self-care, make time for loved ones, make time for hobbies, and be patient with yourself. It's also important to identify the cause of burnout, address it and take a break if necessary. And most importantly, don't be afraid to seek help if you need it. Remember, You're not alone in this, and there are many resources available to support you. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'd love to hear from you.